What it is, what it do, folks. Back again, season 2, episode 2, past, present, future. And one thing before I say the names on this show, it's funny how Smitty actually lives in the future, realistically. No bull. 15 hours ahead. You feel me? It's already Sunday, 1 o'clock over there. It's Saturday on this time. But anyways, man, y'all know who it is. Trippy OG, Stevie, Smitty, LJ. And then, of course, we got our new addition, our main man, Ariel. What up, bro?
What's good, man? Thank y'all for having me on. I look forward to doing a lot of work with you guys, man. And we're going to build something special over here, man. I bring a big aspect, a different aspect to the team.
Shout out to all the Nick hats right now. Show the drip. Show the Nick hat drip. Let me see. Oh yeah. That's what we like to see out here. That's a fire colorway, bro. I'm not gonna lie.
I had to get the legend right there, Patrick.
Better not be finger rolling, bro. Don't be finger rolling nothing. You better dunk it.
Yo, for real, right? I still got nightmares, man, about that to this day, man.
That's a fact. But I think we ultimately, like all of us, I think we all have the worst nightmare of all. And I'm gonna blame you, Smitty, because you live in the future and you could have told us that this was gonna happen. Okay, you gave us a hint. But we didn't know that Evan was really gonna start. Okay,
that's a fact. He did. That's a fact. Yo, he did.
I said that in the last. I did say that in the last episode. Maybe or maybe not. I did not have had knowledge from the future. You know, on my mind.
So are there rules to this? Are there rules to this? You can't tell us certain things.
Yeah, I can't. You know, it's that butterfly effect. So, you know, you sort of fly. Something else happens. You know, maybe I turn back to history of time. So I just got to drop hints.
That's crazy, man. But overall, right? With that being said, you know, we see Evans in the front running, but I mean, it kind of makes sense. You know, he still got the $78 million contract. He got Silver and FIBA. He was doing his thing. And that's kind of how he normally keeps his spot over the past 2 years, is always involving some type of tournament over the summer that he goes crazy in. But I want to highlight on a few things that he said in his interviews during practice so far. How do you guys feel about him stating that he focused a little bit too more on offense last year versus the defensive side, and he sees that that was the problem and he's going to adjust it? Do you guys believe it's a fluke? Do you believe he's just saying the right things just to stay in his spot? Or do you actually believe he understands that that's where it went wrong and he actually worked on that?
I mean, it's good to hear, at least, right? We got to hope and believe he's in that right mindset, that, you know, that he's, because I'm not expecting Evan Fournier to be a lockdown defender, but if he can improve somehow or learn some new way to work with the team, because at the end of the day, the Knicks defense is team defense. So if he could find a way to fit within the, you know, the rotation, so be it. Good for him. But then again, he has to show it. You know what I mean? So I guess we got to believe. As Knicks fans, we just have to hope he's right.
Definitely. How you feeling about that, Smitty?
Yeah, well, I mean, he's European, right? He's just come out of playing in FIBA, right? They won silver. So, man, I mean, I'm going to believe that he's got it in him. I mean, he comes from the fundamentalist sort of type of game, especially as a European player, and he plays that type of basketball often, or, you know, somewhat often. I have seen flashes of him be defensive when his time in Orlando. So, I mean, he has it in here, maybe not at an elite level, but at least he's talking about it. And maybe at least that means the team's going to go back to playing a tougher brand of defense like we did the year that we got back to the playoffs 2 seasons ago. So maybe that's a point of focus or emphasis.
Okay, I could definitely appreciate that. And I like that. I like both of y'all takes on it. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, I can speak for all of us on this point. We're just as confused as maybe a guy that's not even a Knicks fan right now. Because it's like, how do you go from Grimes not being in any part of a trade package to, okay, Evan is still going to start? Wait, what? What do you mean?
I mean, who knows? He may have a better impact off the bench.
Honestly speaking. Go ahead,
I
bro.
think so too, bro. Nah, I think the situation with Evan Fournier, I know like a lot of people on Twitter had like a knee-jerk reaction to it, but I think for me analyzing what Tibbs was saying, I rewatched the interview a couple of times just so I could like make everything, make sense. And he's not gonna come out to me. He's not gonna come out outright and say Grimes is a starter. You know what I'm saying? I got a feeling that it's gonna be something that's gonna happen gradually. Even if Evan gets bopped to the bench, his minutes get cut and Grimes comes in a little bit sooner. And then gradually you start getting him easing him into that starting role. That's what I could see happening because Grimes, if he stays healthy, because I know he was in a walking boot from what I read.
He's out of it though. He's out of it though. He's out of it. He practices. Yeah, he practices.
So I know with Grimes, if he stays healthy and he continues to play well, it's going to force Tibbs' hand that he has to put him out because you can't have Jalen Brunson and Evan Fournier as your backcourt defensively. It's just a recipe for a disaster to happen.
Okay. I like that. So then look, so Stevie, this question is to you, right? So we all feel like he shouldn't be a part of that backcourt. But how are you feeling today after seeing and witnessing Derrick Rose running a few laps with Mitchell Robinson? But here's the kicker. Derrick Rose had a starter uniform on. Do we see a backcourt of Jalen and D Rose and maybe a second unit backcourt of IQ Grimes with Evan at the 3?
I don't see that as a starting backcourt, but it will get a lot of minutes. Don't sleep on that because if you remember, D Rose played good with another point guard as well as the other point guard playing well with D Rose. It happened with IQ and it happened a few times with Deuce McBride when he had minutes. So don't be surprised if you see that combination. I can see that, not as a starting backcourt, as I said, but it will be one. It might be a finisher. Never know. It might be a finishing backcourt. Because that dynamic, if you remember, the year we won the division, that little dynamic of IQ and D Rose coming off the bench actually won some games for us. So it has the capability of happening again. That's all I'm saying. And I kind of feel like our bench is going to be the biggest strength of our team this year.
So you feel like we're going back 2 years ago, right? 2 years ago, we getting back to them oats. Like I feel like this team is looking right, but I don't know. When I seen D Rose with that starter jersey on, I had to wonder. Like, just imagine, like they already tried to do a Jalen and Donovan Mitchell backcourt. Why not? I mean, why not? You feel me? Because then automatically. Go ahead.
Yeah, D Rose is that player you just can't count him out. No matter what, you just can't count him out. He's too reliable, and to have a guy like that on our team, we should be thankful. Like honestly,
I think he wants a big year too. He's back down to rookie weight. I think he's done, and he's just we know he loves hooping. He's spoken about that. So let's as LJ just said, let's not count him out. There's a possibility, and we know that that's Tibbs' guy. And we know that he's nearing the end of his career too. So maybe they're trying to go out where he plays a lot of minutes,
I could definitely see that. I could definitely see that. So, I mean, that's looking like a good combination, but I got to agree with Stevie. If anything, that's definitely going to be like a finishing lineup, close out the game. Jalen and D Rose, y'all in here. Or, you know what I'm saying? Like
crazy.
Bro, there's no stopping that. There's no stopping that.
I'm just stay healthy, bro. That's real. That's sick, bro.
That's an exciting lineup right there.
That's a lineup that we have a 6-point lead in the fourth, and it's like 5 minutes left. Throw that lineup in.
I seen one tweet that had like a closing lineup of I think Brunson, IQ, Grimes, RJ, and Obi. And I was like, yo, that's fire. But this is the only time I'm going to say, yo, take out IQ. You throw D Rose in that group? Oh, my God. Oh, my God.
We got a squad. We got a fucking squad.
And I don't understand why people keep sleeping on us. And the fact that we're on the fact of our squad and our roster. The next question, and I'm going to start it off with you, Ariel, right? How do you actually feel this team can outdo the roster we had 2 years ago when we was the almighty 4th seed, no fans in the stands? Honestly, I feel like we're way better than we were at that point when we were doing what we were supposed to do. You get what I'm saying? Of course, last season, we fell off defensively and Tom preached on it. And this is the one time I could say Tom is right. If we didn't fall off defensively, that 37 games probably would have been like 40 something. be real with y'all. So how do you feel we compare with this current roster versus 2 years ago? Not the one last year, 2 years ago.
I think this roster is more equipped to handle because I feel like this roster is more deep at every position than we had 2 years ago. I mean, outside you had the ball stoppers like Reggie Bullock, but who's to say that if Cam is hungry enough and Quentin Grimes, that those guys could fill in probably a bigger role than what Reggie Bullock was filling, because Reggie Bullock couldn't consistently knock down a three half of the time. He was hot and cold. He would have a streak where he would have a good few games shooting, and next thing he'd disappear for another 5. So we couldn't find. But one thing he did give you was he'd always give you the defensive effort, regardless if his shooting was off. So I feel like Quentin Grimes, that could be his thing. That if he's having an off night, you know, they could feed off each other. You know, if Evans if Grimes having an off night, Cam could, you know, step up. If Cam is having a bad shooting night, but guess what they both add? They're both defensive wings. So those, if you look at all the teams that have improved or already at the elite level, what do they have? They have elite wings. They have guys that can guard on the wing. And I feel like those two guys right there are going to be the X factor for this team, because we have a lot of good young talent. We just haven't seen it unleashed fully. And hopefully Tibbs sticks to his word on it. And I feel like if he sticks to his word of what he's saying, because sometimes he could kind of contradict himself, but his weapons are taken away already. So now he has to play them. He has no choice to showcase them. So now it's whether these guys want it or not. And the X factor is, can Cam take himself to that next level? You know, Cam is talented, but the word around the league is Cam don't put in that work. It seems like he's not hustling for loose balls. He's not consistent. And his motor is an issue with a lot of players, a lot of like GMs were saying around the league and scouts. So it's how bad do they want it? But to your point where you were saying that 2 years ago, where we were at, I think we're in a better position because we finally got that point guard spot that we needed. And I mean, they were doing numbers with Elfrid Payton as a starting point guard, bro. What is that telling you? Now you add a Jalen Brunson, who you know is a proven winner on all levels, you know, except for the pros. But every year he's gotten better and better. So to put him in a position like this where he can basically be the point guard that he wants to be and the one bringing up the rock and doing what he wants to do, I think this team has an unlimited ceiling. I'm not saying that we're going to be top 3, top 4, but I think a lot of people are going off the if it happens, listen, that's what I'm hoping for, right? But, you know, being realistically, I don't see us like people keep putting us in that playing realm. I feel like, you know, people are overvaluing Chicago. I feel like because Chicago has no bench, they didn't really make any improvements if you look at their roster. And Lonzo Ball, their season rests on the health of Lonzo Ball. And if they don't have Lonzo Ball, that team is easily going to fall into that play-in 9th or 10th seed because the Bulls ain't that deep. They're like one injury away from their season being turned around.
Yeah, that's a fact. That is a true fact.
So we are in a better position than we were 2 years ago, even with that team being a 4 seed.
I like that. So now,
like,
with us being in that position, right? Like, we have a good young squad. You know, we have 2 legitimate, well, way more than 2. We got 3, let me say that. We got 4 legitimate point guards, just the 4th one, which is McBride. We just don't know his full potential as of yet. But we have 3 legitimate point guards. We have IQ, we have Jalen, we have D-Rose. So now we're having these point guards, right? And this question, I'm going to direct this to you, LJ. Well, LJ and Steve and Smitty. LJ and Smitty, I want y'all two to answer this. LJ, you go first. Smitty, you go after. How do you feel with having these 3 bona fide point guards and guards that can play off ball as well? How does this actually impact IHart and Mitch? And how does IHart and Mitch impact this team as a dynamic duo centers?
Oh, yo, honestly, what's his name? Hartenstein, right?
Yes.
So yeah, Hartenstein, that was a great pickup because we always thought we were gonna get rid of Mitch for a stretch 5, but instead we kept Mitch and got a stretch 5. So that alone was great. So that right there gives you 2 types of basketball. You know what I mean? You got Mitch, who's a complete paint beast. He's a complete problem on defense. He's gonna alter every shot. Obviously his outside game is not all that, but he is a guard's wet dream. Let me tell you, like, All he has to do is just roll to the basket and you throw it up and he's there. Brunson, IQ, all of our point guards have great, I'm not gonna say great, but developing a good IQ and a good understanding. They have a great understanding of, their position, and that's big for you to like actually know your role. Because there's some guards that, they get confused. They don't know whether to pass or whether to shoot. I feel like these guys have the right mindset to make the right play at the right time. And Mitch, obviously has definitely improved. Hartenstein is to be determined, but I think Hartenstein will actually do way more damage than we think, because now he's gonna give the defense more to think about. You have no idea whether he's gonna roll or pop out, and now you have exactly. You know what I mean? He didn't shoot a lot when he was on the Clippers, but he makes the right shot, and that's good. You don't want him to. We don't need him to be a volume shooter. We just need him to be respected on the 3-point line. So with all these guys coming around, now you got to drop back. But if you drop back, you leave Hartenstein wide open. You give it to Hartenstein. He pump fakes maybe because he's good off the dribble too. He's a great passer. So he could put the ball on the floor, one dribble, pass to the corner, Evan Fournier. Shit's going to get crazy. Shit's going to get crazy. I'm not going to lie. The ball movement is going to be crazy this year. I'm excited, bro.
Don't forget about him, bro.
It's gonna be a problem. I don't think people really understand.
Fighting for minutes too, bro.
That's the greatest thing about this team. Everybody's competitive, but it's friendly competitive though. You know what I mean? Like no one's out for like each other's blood. It's different. Like it's like a brotherhood, but they're gonna push each other to get better. You know what I mean? So camaraderie.
That's a great point. I want to add on to that real quick. One part y'all missing about this team, and I was talking about this with Khalil. We got to get him on because I was hanging out with him in the city a couple of weeks ago with Wifey.
That's my guy.
Yo, that dude is very knowledgeable, man. You got to get him up on here.
That's my
guy.
But
we were talking about, we were outside, right? We were hanging out. We were talking about this team, how we feel about it. And he was like, one thing that people ain't talking about with this Knicks, because I've been watching, I mean, aside from the basketball, let's take away like the basketball aspect, right? Let's talk about like the camaraderie, because a lot of people need to forget that in order for a team to play together as a cohesive unit, what do they have to do? They have to like each other. They have to play or feed off of one another. You know what I'm saying? Just like what he was saying, like you want them to play together, hang out together, even if it's corny stuff, them doing TikTok videos together, working out together, posting, like you could tell they genuinely like being around each other. You know what I'm saying? If you look at all of the young group, even some of the veterans, you got them cats hanging out with Julie. You got Jericho, what's his name? Jericho working out with him. You got Ferone Hunt always hanging out with him. So, you could tell that quickly. All these guys like each other, and you could tell they generally want to play with each other, regardless of what anybody feels towards anybody. The camaraderie is there, and that's the main thing. You want to like basically you want to build off of that.
That's a fact. You hit it on the nose with that, and that's a lot of teams don't have that unity. They really don't.
And those are the ones that don't work out or end up breaking up.
That's a fact. That is a fact. But Smitty, it's on you. Same question. How you feeling about that, man? How's the dynamics? How you feeling about how point guards can help them out? How can they help the guards? How can they help the team?
Well, as you said, what you called, we're going to say 3 legitimate point guards because we don't know what McBride's capable of, and because we don't know what minutes he's going to see. So look, I mean, no one expects those point guards to be defensive at any point. But I think what the dynamic will be is that they work well, even without scoring the ball. So they might not be a great defender, but they are a great teammate on the floor. Do you know what I mean? So they're moving, they're getting to spots. When a play gets broken up, I feel like under a mentorship of like a Derrick Rose for a lot of those guys. And Jalen Brunson, because he's seen a bit and he's a back-to-back college champion at Villanova and whatnot. And he's obviously played under, Luka, who come from a European background. And even though, he's older than Luka, right? He learned some stuff from him. They both learned some stuff from each other. And playing under J Kidd, there's a lot to have been learned. And I think he's going to bring a lot to the team. And I think the most exciting part for me and the dynamic that actually bonds these guys together, and you might agree, you might not, Knicks fans might not. I think Immanuel Quickley is the guy that's bringing everyone together whether it's just this group or whether it's more, because he talks to everyone. He talks to everyone, man. You see that thing of him and Hartenstein, they're cool already. They're really cool already. He just seems like a guy, man, that's just like a really happy and positive guy, man. There's no negativity from him. Whatever it's, anything outside of basketball doesn't matter. He doesn't bring it to, it doesn't look like he brings that to, the training sessions, the group. He's just like, no, we're working. And, he could be bitter. He could be bitter after sort of, last season. He could, but he's not. He's ready to just work. I think that's the best part about this dynamic is Emmanuel quickly. And I think the way that everyone has sort of gravitated towards him, and then from that it's expanded and made this such a good team. So I think having three point guards of that caliber or that ability and so their potential, it's only going to be a cause for success, or at least fun times, right? And improvement.
That's a fact. That is a fact. I'm looking
this
forward.
This season's definitely going to be fun. I'll say that. You hit on the head with that one.
If anything,
this season's definitely going to be fun.
Boy, we almost there. We almost there. Like, it's going to be crazy. It's going to be crazy. But you know how I go with our episodes, right? We got to get a little controversial. We got to do our little stab. Hint. Take that. Know what I mean? So, Stevie, this one is for you, man. You really buying that whole new Julius Randle attitude? We got to play fast. I got to get back in shape. You buying all that? Or he just saying what he got to say so he don't get traded sooner? You know what I'm saying? Because he going to get traded eventually. From all these reports we hearing, the 40%, he had no trade value going into the summer, because it's not about the money. It was about the years. Then, the team, they want to see what's going on with Obi. Like, they really banking on Obi. Then Tom, he's letting it be known that him and Obi don't work together on the same lineup. So do you really believe his hype? Right? That's one question. And then the second part is he really going to stay here for all them years, or is he eventually still going to get packed up?
I'll answer that one first. I think he will eventually get packed up.
Come on.
I'll be real. But is a but to that. I will not be surprised if he gets back to the form from 2 years ago. And I'm going to tell you why. Okay. I'm not saying he's going to be an all-star. I'm not going to say he's going to put up the 20, 10, and 5. I think his numbers are going to go down, being that Jalen Brunson's going to have the ball most of the time. However, it was many times I said Julius Randle's problem was they put too much responsibility on him. Yeah. Now that Jalen Brunson's here bringing the ball down, and I assume he's going to have the ball most of the time, I'm sure Randle's going to bring it down every now and then, but not as much as last year. You're taking responsibility away from him. I guess with Randle, where I'm going with this is with Randle, it depends on if he's ready and willing to take a traditional power forward role rather than, be a point forward. He has to post up. He has to post up. And everybody knows Randle can post up. He's actually great at it. Offensive rebounding, down low in the post. Yeah, he's pretty good. So I buy it a little bit. I buy it. I think the possibility's there. He'll exceed expectations.
I definitely like that.
But I think he'll eventually be gone, though, because just like all of y'all, I want Obi Toppin to start. But that's just, that's us. But let's see what happens.
I agree with him on that one for sure. If you put Randle in a position to succeed, he will succeed.
Yeah, and I think that as Stevie said, that he's going to get packed up. I think it's going to be off the back of that. So they're going to try and increase his stock value, and then bang, when it's at its highest,
exactly.
See you later.
Yo, I was saying that a couple of weeks. I was saying that on the last show when we did the IG. That I think it only benefits the Knicks if he actually outplays this year, because now it's going to make him put him in a position where we can actually move him and get some type of value for him. So we got to root for the guy. He's still wearing a Knicks uniform at the end of the day too. So I'm not going to pray on his downfall. Just to prove his point.
Yeah. No, if he can play well, then why not, right?
It's the crazy thing. It's the crazy thing. I'm at a point where I kind of like the new attitude. I know what he can bring to the table, but it's just so sad because My only reason for really wanting Julius Randle off this team now is because, and this is my next question, and it's all because of Melo. Number one, Melo should be here. Number two, Melo should be here. And number three, why the hell is Melo not here yet or on a team yet? So Randle, you need to move because Melo needs a home. You feel me? Melo, come home. Like, nah, seriously though, how y'all really feeling about that? You know, you can't have past, present, future without diving back into the past. As we all know, Carmelo is that faithful Nick that gave us hope again. He got us back to the P's. He did unthinkable things, undeniable things that we thought no Knick player could do again. But it's just, how in the hell is he not on a team? Like, how did Blake Griffin get to Boston before Carmelo? Then they said that Blake Griffin brings more versatility than Carmelo. What?
They said that?
Not with those names.
Bro,
Not with those names.
I can't make this
Who said that?
Who said that, man?
Yeah, who said that?
Bro, Twitter be crazy. I'm trying to tell you, I can't make this up, bro.
You know what's crazy, man? You can't take some of these people from Twitter serious, man. Like, some of them really don't.
The crazy thing is, it wasn't even a fan. It came
from it was actually somebody, a beat writer.
It came from a reporter that stated that this is what the organization said.
Wow.
Like, this ain't no bull. Like, this is what they said. Now, you know, there's other rumors going around that Mr. Shaquille O'Neal, especially him, you know, he didn't want Melo to put on another Laker jersey because he was only 300 and I think like 305, somewhere in that 300 range of passing him on the all-time scoring list. And Shaq himself did not want him to be a Laker and do so. But now it's like, okay, I get the Laker aspect, but did you just ban him from playing on any team at all just so he doesn't pass you? Like, this is ridiculous now. Because again, who picks Blake Griffin, a guy that didn't even play a lick of ball last year, over Carmelo? And Carmelo was actually the reason why the Lakers was still had a chance at points. Like, are we serious? Like, we all seen the Lakers
actually playing meaningful games.
Well, what did he average
and Blake
last year?
Griffin was watching the bench.
13.
He averaged like 15.4.
Yeah, and then it was like 37% from three as well or something. So, and that's off the bench in a role he's not used to. Come on, man.
And mind you, Blake Griffin only averaged like 6.4 points. Bro, he barely played a third of the season.
His knees are done. He is borderline done. He's been done
since
cooked.
Probably he's in the same realm as
he's been done since his second season in Detroit. Let's be honest. He finessed them out of that into paying him the rest of that money.
Yo, you know what's crazy?
That one playoff series.
You know what's crazy? I'm gonna be super real. Like, there's a lot of trades I want to see go down, right? You know, especially with the stacked East, the West is looking good. A lot of old people are coming back. A lot of people that were hurt are not hurt anymore. Like, for prime example, Jamal Murray. You feel me? Like, there's a lot of people that's not hurt anymore. You know, Kawhi Leonard's not hurt anymore. John Wall's about to actually get to play. I heard Dame got his burst back. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's looking different. So with that being said, right, and while we're on the topic of the Boston, I think personally, Jaylen Brown needs to axe out. Jaylen Brown needs to get out of Boston, bro. It's time.
I was just talking about that with Khalil the other day, last week, that Jaylen Brown's going to request to get traded.
Yeah, like, they're talking about
see that happening.
I'm at a point where they're like, yo, the Knicks are looking at Devin Booker and SGA. Bump that. Go get Jaylen Brown. I'll take him over both of them. Especially over Devin Booker, bro. Jaylen Brown cooks Devin Booker every time.
Want to deal with us, though, is the question.
Yeah, that's the problem. That's the main problem right there. Boston didn't make it.
Boston, they may not want to deal with us, but when it comes to all teams in the NBA, when it comes to young prospects, the Knicks themselves, we have the young prospects, but we have the prospects that are actually available. Now, catch that. That are actually available. Yeah, other teams have young prospects, but some of these young players are already pillars and core pieces of the foundation they're trying to build. We actually have so many young pieces. We have some that are available. You feel me? Like, you can use some of these guys.
So who would you give up?
Who would I give up for Jaylen Brown? Oh,
yeah.
You can have Quentin Grimes. You can have Deuce. You feel me? Shit, you can even take Cam. At that point, you can take Cam. For Brown, you can take Cam, bro. No disrespect to Cam. You can take him. I'm sorry. Like Cam is never going to be better than Brown, bro. Like that's really
Randall.
See, now, personally, I feel like Randall would be the highlight of it because they don't legitimately have a forward. That's why they went out to go get a Gallinari. They went out to go get a Blake Griffin.
They got what's his name right now playing the 4.
Bro, we're not going to talk about trash Grant Williams, bro. He just learned how to shoot the 3 like 2 years ago.
Oh, no, man, that final, when he's bombing those threes and he's all up talking like, come on, man. That's why I hate Boston. That's what breeds. That type of player.
You feel me?
That's no disrespect of Grant.
Yeah, it's just
fucking
like,
Kyrie.
If I'm Brown, I'm gonna be honest. And like I said, I love Cam Reddish to death. Y'all know I want Cam to get more minutes over Grimes. You know what I'm saying? I've been stating that since day one. I'm stating to today. But if you had a chance to get Jalen Brown without giving up Brunson, without giving up Mitch, without giving up IHart, D Rose quickly, and you get to keep RJ. Yeah, I'm gonna give up. You can have Grimes, you can have Evan, you can even have Randall, you can have Cam. If I can keep all of those players that I just stated and add Brown in that mix, do you really need a Grimes? Do you really need a Deuce? Do you really need a Cam? And mind you, in all of this, I'm still keeping Obi. So do you really need them players? Because we can go get the rest of them guys in free agency. We go pick up some vets real quick. You know what I'm saying? If you wanted to go that route. Now, I'm not saying all of this like, oh, bump these guys, they trash. Like, I love my team how they are. But if you had that opportunity to get Jalen Brown, Randall is the first guy I'm pitching to them. Like, come on, take him. Just take him. Just take him. You feel me? But besides that, and, just off topic, forget just the Knicks. What players do you personally want to see get traded? Not, oh, you think they are. Like, you really be like, nah, they should get traded by this deadline. Like, it's time.
That's a good
like
question.
On our team, like who we want traded off?
No, not even on our team in the NBA, period. It could be our team as well. But I'm saying, you just got to tell me the player of what team and where you exactly see them going.
LaMelo to the Pelicans.
What? Whoa.
No. Bro.
Whoa.
Nah. Timeout. Nah.
I'm breaking the internet.
When I say this, you know who LaMelo could go to? He could go to the Pelicans. I agree with you. But he could actually end up on the Knicks. And somebody I wrote about that. And then maybe like another year from now where he gets disgruntled. Because I remember at one point he had voiced that he wants to play in a big market like New York or LA. So it can happen, man. Because I don't think the Hornets are going to be able to do anything.
You know what's crazy? At this point, getting LaMelo Ball kind of defeats the purpose of adding Brunson. Because we all know LaMelo Ball don't play that good off ball. He don't got that type of jump shot.
He don't got that
type. If we were talking about the middle brother, Leangelo, and he had his act together, all right, that's the ball you go bring to the Knicks because you need a shooter.
Yeah.
And you know what I'm saying? Now, don't get me wrong, LaMelo could be good, but it's just at this point, I wouldn't move for him. But LaMelo on the freaking Pelicans. Bro, trying to break the internet. You trying to break the internet? What?
That would be wicked.
Andrew Wiggins, bro. They're not going to be able to pay him. The Knicks should really look into that, bro. Adding Andrew Wiggins on his Knicks team.
I'm going to be honest.
I wouldn't be mad at that.
I don't think Andrew Wiggins is going to be there either. Not even him coming to the Knicks. I know for a fact Andrew Wiggins is out of there because then they just discuss that they about to do the Poole extension first. Like they already said they're doing that one.
Yo, they value Jordan Poole way more than they do him, bro. That's crazy.
I mean, you can't get mad at it because at the end of the day, you have to look at it.
I'm just saying.
No. I'm talking about like
Andrew Wiggins undervalued.
I think you can get mad at it because Wiggins is kind of the reason they're there. They were there. His defense was that blowout he had against who was it? Who was he going off against? It was the Mavericks, right?
You gotta look at it like this, bro. I'm
gonna
break it down
destroying the Mavericks.
You gotta look at it like this. Yes, Andrew Wiggins played a big part, but when it's time for guys like Steph, Clay, and Draymond to leave the league, how can we keep this dynasty going? By keeping Jordan Poole, you at least replace either Steph or Klay Thompson out the gate. You already got a replacement for one of them, right? Now I'm thinking that the way they still got this Moses Moody dude, he's replacing another one of them. Then you got to remember when it comes to Wiggins, they still got Jonathan Kuminga.
Yeah, they got too many.
He still has to replace somebody.
Yeah,
then you already know when it came to center-wise, when it came to center, James Wiseman came back, so he's good. And then the new dude that they just drafted, that's basically Draymond's replacement. Coming out of college, bro, they got replacements. So Andrew Wiggins, he was already like borderline stamp, like, what can you really do with it? You feel me? He's not really, he's a guy that he's on the team, but there's a young guy that can do the same thing if you gave him the same minute. Like if you gave Kuminga those minutes, Kuminga could probably do the same thing Andrew did. And that's not a knock against Andrew. It's just, you know, Andrew's at that time to where he got a little older and he kind of lost that time to really get it going. But at least he got a chip out of it. You feel me? He earned his way. It's not like he was piggybacking, rodding. He put in work to get that chip. So at the end of the day, he Gucci. But I'm not mad at the Warriors for going the Jordan Poole route because I understand you trying to make sure you keep that dynasty and that foundation that you built the same way. So you have to get replacements that will replace your key guys. You feel me? So that's what I see with that. Personally, I'm still trying to figure out why OG Anunoby is still in the Raptors.
You mean the 6'8" Raptors? That's all they got. 6'8" players. They went this season, this off season. They went and got Otto Porter Jr. 6'8", Josh Jackson 6'8". They got Pascal 6'8". They got OG 6'7", 6'8". Scotty Barnes 6'8". It doesn't stop. Gary Trent Jr. 6'7". Like,
yeah,
it's an all forward team. It doesn't make sense.
They plan to play that small ball, man.
But yeah, but it's like it's not even like small because they're still like decently sized guys, but they don't. Chris Boucher, there's another one. So 7 guys, 6'8".
He's a 6'8".
He's a center though.
Yeah, but he's 6'8". Like this, what's going on?
Yeah, he's undersized.
Like, what's going on in Toronto, man? Forget them. No,
you know what's
Frontier Crew is what 6'10"?
Huh? No, he's 6'8" as well.
He is? Oh shit! Damn.
I want to hear something crazy.
6'8".
I feel like the Raptors need to find a way, right? The Raptors, if they can. And this is not even for the Raptors standpoint. This is really for the Nuggets to like really take it to the next level. They need to go ahead and switch OG Anunoby and Michael Porter Jr. and do a swap. Like, yo, MPJ, you go to the Raptors, or OG, you come to the Nuggets.
Yeah, like, at least I have a 6'10" guy then, right?
Hey, that's a nice stretch 5. He can do it all.
He's playing 5 straight up.
Yo, it's crazy.
But while we're on the Nuggets, and go back to MELO, if he don't become a Knick, can we just say while we're on here as Knick fans, he's either got to
it's only right.
He's got to land.
He's got to go to Denver.
Or he's got to come. It's one or two places. Someone pick him up. Yeah. I don't care if anyone's listening that's got any contacts. Get your front office on the phone. Make him a Knick. Make him a Nugget. Make it happen.
See, the only reason why I don't want him to go to the Nuggets is because it's like, bro, you and Joker need to switch numbers. Like, Joker, you need to give up that number, bro. Like, that's not your number.
Yeah, he needs to pass Shaq on the all-time scoring list wearing number 15, and then they need to put it up into the right.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't want even if no one comes back to any team, just to violate the NBA for doing how they did him. Bro, put that number 15 back across your chest and go stupid. Show them a real 360 and just tap in. Just drop 30 on niggas every day. Nah, I'm playing. Just drop 30 on everybody. But realistically, though, right? How do you, and it's the last thing I want to touch on with y'all, right? Now, we already know how the present's looking with our current team. We see how the past is. You know, Melo's still not on the team. It's a lot of guys. It's a lot of former Knick players, too, that you guys are not realizing. They're kind of not on any teams like that either. You know what I'm saying? And if they are, they're getting traded to the garbage teams now, like the rebuilding young core-based teams. So that's another factor, right? But we can't lead a show without talking about the future a little bit. There are a lot of teams, especially on the East, but there's a few in particular on the West that have great young cores that I'm looking at. How do you feel our young core stacks up with every young core in the league? Not just the East, but the whole entire league. Like, for example, on my end, the Rockets have a good young core right now. Like you got KPJ, you got Jalen over there, you got the guy they just drafted, Jabari Smith, Shingu. You feel me? Got Josh Christopher, you got Kenyon Martin Jr. over there. Like they got a little nice squad, right? But how do they stack up to us? I feel like personally we a little bit better because of the cohesion we have, because of the type of mindset our players have, and because of the good guidance they have coming into this room. Like automatically, it doesn't matter who you are. If you're not hardworking and dedicated in this, the way the Knicks are set up since the past 3 years now, like this year three now under the new regime. Bro, it's all about if you ain't in this gym 24/7, you might as well not come to the Knicks. So it's like we already got them beat. But how do y'all feel we versus up to a lot of these young cores? Because, you know, Detroit looking nasty. You already see how the Cavs look now. Like
Sacramento.
Another team. Sacramento Kings, they looking good as hell, bro. I'm sorry. They actually look like a playoff team now.
Yeah, I've been saying that. Yeah.
Like, how do you guys feel about that, man? Like, you've been quiet a little bit. So, Stevie, holla at me. Let me know. How you feeling about this?
I like our young core, man. Like, as far as where they stack up, I guess we're going to find that out this year. Because those young cores, you know what I mean? The Cavs, Garland made an all-star team. Houston, we're still going to find out. So I would say we rank right there with Houston because we're going to find out about them this year as well. But overall, I like our young core.
Houston? Personally, not Houston. If we got to stack up with anybody, I think we're more so like Sacramento. Like Sacramento. Okay, like we a young core that can make the playoffs or play in. It's just
all right, so
we got to see what happens.
All right, I hear you. So I'll go with that. Yeah, I'll go with Sacramento. I only said the Rockets because I said we're going to find out about them, but like we're a little further than them, so you're right about that. But overall, point being, I like our young core, man. Like Obi has potential. IQ is showing that he's willing to put in the work. Deuce McBride, it shows if we give him minutes, he can play. Who else? I'm sorry. Cam, he's another one. We just got to give him minutes. We know he has the talent. Our young core is pretty good, man. I think we're in a good place. It's just all about putting them in a position to succeed and letting them play to their strengths.
The best thing about this young core is we're gonna be competitive the entire year. Like the entire year, we're gonna compete. I don't see us getting blown out already any game. Like maybe against like a championship caliber team, I guess like the Warriors or something like that. That's the only time. And by blowout, I mean by like maybe 12. I don't see the Knicks losing anything over than that. Like we're just gonna compete. They're gonna play hard. They're gonna give it their best effort. Because at the end of the day, they're all young. So with that being said, you know, they're always every game is a stepping stone. They have something to prove. They have something to work for. So that's big to have on a team. And the fact that, you know, instead of having one firecracker, like Clyde Frazier says, the neophytes, you know what I mean? You take one little firecracker, you put them all together, you got a rocket. You know what I mean? So, you know, the work ethic is there. We're going to compete. And honestly, that's all I'm looking for now is just the competitive aspect. I think Knicks fans can appreciate that more than anything is just being able to fight back in a way.
That's a fact. That is a big fact. How you feeling about that, Ariel? What's up with it, man? Our core versus the whole joint.
All right, so you got the scope of the league with these good stuff, with these good young cores, right? So you got the Rockets, who obviously you touched on. You have the Sacramento Kings, which been touched on too. So another team I'm gonna throw out there that's pretty good, but I wouldn't rank them necessarily over us, not just yet. I think we're kind of at the same level. I would say the Orlando Magic have a lot of good young talent on that team. You got the Franz Wagner. You still got Mo Bamba coming into his own. You got if you look at their bench too, they got that young kid. He's working on his jump shot. He's actually getting better too. Chuma Okeke. And you got a couple of other young guys. You got R.J. Hampton coming back this year off his injury.
CA, Cole Anthony.
Yeah, Cole Anthony. You got Markelle Fultz if he could stay on the court, which is always a big question mark. And you got Wendell Carter, too, coming into his own. So I feel like, but as far as like how do we stack up against those guys, I think, like I said, we got to showcase them because we don't know what we have until we let them play a full season together where they're getting consistent minutes that we can say, okay, he's got the time. We saw what he got. He might not be this good. This is going to be his role. This is going to be his role. But we got to see what we have first before we actually put them together. I'm not saying we don't, because there's some guys that I really think could take it to that next level, but we have to see more of them to make any type of judgment. So, but I don't think we're in bad shape as far as like with our young core. I think if we just showcase them and Tip sticks to his guns, saying that, he's going to basically play them, and then we're going to see what we got. And I don't think it's going to be a bad thing.
What about you, Smitty?
Yeah, well, as we sort of mentioned, a few young cores that really excite me outside the Knicks, obviously, just for reference purposes. Detroit, very exciting. By the looks of it, people might laugh. Some people will laugh when they hear that. Others will agree. Sacramento, as I said. Indiana, as much as it pains me to say, they actually still got some nice young pieces. I don't think they'll do much. I think we're better structured than them, but I think they have a nice young core going forward. They're probably a little bit further behind than us. Orlando Magic's a good one, but again, similar to Indiana, I just don't think that they have enough veterans, though, in sort of in that sense to help them with that. Houston's the same, not enough veterans. Obviously, we know the top tier young core right now is the Memphis Grizzlies. That's your benchmark, I think. I think we stack up well against most of them, man. I think Ariel was right though in saying Orlando. I think they're a bit of a sleeper. People might not give them as much credit. Sacramento, though, that's a good one. I think we're right there. Not right there with, but I think we're in a similar level. There's a lot of comparisons that can be made to Sacramento for us. I mean, they got the four that's the veteran, like Sabonis is to Randall. Obviously, Sabonis is a better player. And then I think we got a few bench pieces that are like for like, almost guys that are trying to get minutes and so on. And, Fox and Jalen Brunson, similar age, obviously different play styles and such, but it's very similar in terms of age and matchup. I think we stack up best against, if you're going to look at core for core, young core, I think we stack up best against Sacramento. I think we're better than most of the other ones that are up and coming. Although don't sleep on Detroit. Do not sleep on Detroit. Jaden Ivey is Russell Westbrook with a jump shot.
Yeah, that's a fact. And then you got Cade over here looking like a young Jason.
That's a good backcourt.
Then you got Sadiq Bey out here. They cheating, bro.
And don't forget, they got AB office as well to back up those guys. And we know AB's Mr. Fourth Quarter. Whatever you think about him, that guy's still worth 12 points a game.
Works, man.
Yeah.
When we go against Detroit, RJ got to guard AB. Oh God, you gotta guard money bag AB, bro. You gotta get it in, bro, for real, because this is crazy, man.
He's gonna lock him up.
Say that again.
Ja Morant, man, and Desmond Bain. They shouted him out on Twitter.
I ain't worried about Desmond Bain, man. You gonna shoot that in the lights out, man. I ain't worried about them. Every season, every year, IQ catches a body. So who's next? You feel me? Every year.
Let me drop his man, Tyrese Maxey.
Yeah, well, I got that as that was my screen phone saying it for ages. With Tyrese doing the b-boy, Apparently IQ, you guys here. Apparently IQ caught a body of D Rose in practice.
Oh,
yeah. So there's let's just touch on this before we wrap this up. I don't know if you guys heard, but there's a text getting around, and it's apparently how true or not. Let's just be a little bit liberal with this. It's supposedly from a staffer inside the Knicks training facility.
Talking about the security dude, right?
Yeah. So he's a security staffer, and this is a text that's being shared and information that's being shared. I got the text right here in my hand now. These are some points that were brought up. So I'm going to touch on this just because this is very relevant right now. How true or not is another thing. So he's put a lot of points here that include the one I just touched on, as in IQ supposedly yamming it on Rose. But he goes to say, Randall and Brunson seem to be running the offense from a playmaking standpoint. RJ was terrible day one, but day two was the best player on court and made every layup and even dunked on Obi. Randall's shooting extremely well, but still ball hogging and almost got into it with Hartenstein. Apparently they got Chippy.
What?
Yeah.
I'm not playing none of that.
Obi Toppin's jumper has been off, but his post game looks improved, so that's not a worry. IQ was getting to the rim a lot better and even had a nice dunk in transition over D-Rose. D-Rose was starting over Cam with Evan and Grimes out, as we spoke about before. You saw him with the starter gear on. And then Brunson tries to get the fast break going every time. So this touches on what myself and LJ were saying. It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun.
Transition, man.
Yeah.
Yo, Obi's the best in transition, man.
That's
Yo,
right. So
he's the high flyer.
That's right. So maybe we're going to see when he is on, if Jalen Brunson and him are on at the same time, we're going to see some exciting stuff. And then the last point that he put was IQ was at the practice facility basically every day for close to 6 hours a day this offseason. No one else showed up as much as he did. So that comes back to what I was talking about of him
leader
being
mentality, man.
Yeah, him being the glue and the gel that is bringing old heads and new heads together with current, past, existing players from before their time.
IQ is the new leader. Theo. Yeah. IQ is the new Theo, man. Real talk.
Yeah. His theory.
I like that he's taking that leadership role, man. That's cool. I'm loving that.
But out of everything you read, right? As a fact, but out of everything you read, what caught you the most out of it? Like, what caught you by surprise? Like, wait, what? What happened? What caught you out of the
dunking on Obi? I think that was the shit that I didn't see that one coming.
I think the thing that
Hartenstein got into it with Randall though, because I already knew Hartenstein usually is he's a tough German kid, man. So I'm not surprised by that.
That's the part that got me like, wait. The new boy is coming at the CAA supposed favorite? Oh, snap.
I think what surprised me most was Brunson trying to get the fast break going every time. I didn't expect that out of him. I didn't expect it to be something that
emphasis.
Yeah, I just didn't see that coming. I don't think. I mean, we saw it at Dallas, right? But a lot of that stuff was get it to Luka. Luka's not getting out in transition. That boy too big and a little bit too slow for that. But
but it kind of does make sense though, bro.
It does.
Yeah, if you go back to the games where Luka was out, and I'm not talking about playoff time, I'm talking about during the season. Brunson was always. That's how they was winning the game. Brunson was running that
played. It was running gun.
Yeah. But I'm just surprised with our squad because we tend to play a more generally. We tend to play a more half court set, so it comes up.
Yeah, it's mad ironic that our team is built like that because the guys that we have
really
would dead ass thrive. They would thrive in transition. Mm-hmm. So the fact that they're trying something new, and honestly, they got the best point guard for it. He likes to run, and I want to see full court lobs.
The joint that's crazy about all of this is
like, you gotta realize too, we were the slowest. We were one of the slowest paced teams last year, so that's gonna help us out a lot in getting out there and transition, getting points, man.
Nah, the thing that's crazy, right? You see how we trying to push the pace. Notice that all the things that we said are very ironic are all the things that we were supposed to do last season. So this goes to show you that borderline underlining, and on top of that, you didn't touch on this, but I read this tweet not too long ago. Supposedly, Leon Rose had the leeway to fire Tom at any given time and has not yet. So actually, Tom is on the hot seat. Supposedly, if the things start rolling slow, that's why. And it never dawned on me until somebody said it. And I want to say shout outs to Knicks Film School for their first ever, spaces. They actually brought it up in their spaces about how Johnny Bryant is not an assistant head coach. He's an associate head coach. Those are two different things. You feel me? Like, number one, I didn't even know you can be an associate head coach, number one. But number two, when you're an associate head coach, bro, that's actually bigger than an assistant coach. That's more so like, if this dude is out the way, you're more so like, Tom, even if they think about letting you go, I'm your replacement, I'm the gate. Like, that's basically what it is. And it makes sense of why Johnny Bryant didn't leave to go to Utah.
And not only that, remember, he got a job at his alma mater. He turned it down. He's waiting for that spot, bro. Mm-hmm. He's waiting for it. I don't know if they have told him. I mean, I'm just going off of, from the things that I see. Like you said, him being an associate coach. And that's like a high form of basically like you're the next man up, being a coach type thing.
Why wouldn't you go to college, right? Why wouldn't you go to college? Look at the money they pay. So,
yeah, he turned it. He could have had his job at alma mater. He turned it down. He's waiting for that Nick job, and I think I'm honestly I've had dreams of it that Johnny Bryant was going to be a coach one day, and I think that's going to happen. I can't tell y'all when, but if it's going to be after the All-Star break, depending on how the season goes, he's going to be a Nick coach one day.
We even said it
because the kids respect him. They love him.
That's a fact.
Nah, that's a fact,
we even said it on Knicks Anonymous last year. I can't tell you which episode specifically, but we basically said, because last year everyone said fire Tibbs, this, that, and the third, but we gave him the benefit of the doubt. We always said that his third year was going to be the year that he was going to be put on the hot seat. And lo and behold, he's put on the hot seat.
Crazy thing is, bro, that is a fact. Y'all been stamping it since then. Y'all been stamping it since last season on this one. Yo.
Third year, man.
Smitty, you starting to rub up on the time, man. Give me some of the juice, bro. Give me some of the juice. How come everybody else is getting all the predictions right besides me? Give me the juice, bro. Pass it over. Pass it. That's crazy.
I mean, it only makes sense, man. Same goes with RJ. This is his third year. This is the time. He's gotten to the point in his game where it's either he's gonna shoot up to an all-star or he's just gonna plateau or do bad, which I don't see happening. So that's why I
think personally, when it comes to RJ, he's figured it out because there's been multiple reports, even, from himself when you hear him talk. He's understanding that, I got to be a slasher. Like, I can, have that jump shot, but he understands he's going to get the bread and butter from being a slasher. So that's why he's more so like, okay, think about it. You wouldn't work on your mid-range, shooting off the dribble and finishing at the rim with free throws if you're not a slasher. That's all slasher work. That's all slasher work.
He needs to fix his free throws for sure.
Yeah, he usually put up 25 a game if he does.
Because he's gonna get fouled, man. He's gonna get fouled a lot.
He should have had 50 last year. Forget that 46. He would have had like 50 something if he would have made damn near all free throws.
That's a fact.
Crazy, other than that, he's elite.
Bro, who knows? But it's been real, y'all, for real. I think I can say this is one of the best episodes we had in a while. You want to know why? Because MELO coming to the Knicks. That's it. I don't care. MELO coming to the Knicks.
Existence, man. That's right.
MELO?
There's only one MELO. There's only one MELO. Come on. You know that.
That's a fact, man. But, we appreciate everybody for always tuning in, locked in for us. This is going to be an overall dope season. And for those who don't know, next week's episode, we got a featured guest, but I ain't going to tell y'all who it is. Just make sure y'all stay ready for it. It's getting lit, man. It's your guy, Trippy OG, a.k.a. Dope the Phenom, whichever you prefer. My main man, Smitty, Stevie, LJ, Ariel. This is past, present, future. Make sure y'all get in tune because we lit. With Stevie and LJ, just make sure y'all get in tune with the Knicks Anonymous podcast, always turned up. With Ariel, make sure y'all get in tune to his show. Matter of fact, introduce your show to the world right now. Get them in tune with days you do it. Put them on.
Yeah, so basically, I'm starting a new show. I'm already on my third episode every Monday night. Y'all can catch me at 7:00 till 9 p.m. I'm picking the team every era, 70s, 60s, 80s, 90s. Every week I pick a new team. And I put it out there a few days before I start the show. Tune in this week. I'm going to be talking about the 92-93 Charlotte Hornets and Lonzo and the Johnson beef and how special they could have been if the egos of Alonzo didn't get in the way. So I definitely want to hear what everybody has to say about that. Because they could have did something special over there in Charlotte.
When you do the show, where you actually doing that? You doing it on what? Spaces, Twitter? Where you doing it?
I do it on Spaces. Spaces. But I was thinking about too that while I do it on the Spaces, I'm gonna have a separate one. I'm gonna actually do YouTube videos and do it like a short, maybe a half hour where I break down everything and put it out there. And I was thinking about doing that too. So I'm gonna get into that realm. Cause like I said, I have a YouTube page. I just never used it.
Nah, it's gonna be lit, y'all. Y'all hear it first from your guy. It's gonna be super lit. But Smitty, let the world know what you're doing in the future, man. Because for real, bro, we be trying to catch up. So put the world on, man. What you got endeavors you got going on over there, man? I know you're still working on that Dream podcast. That junk will be crazy.
Yeah. So the name of that podcast now is The Open Three. We've set up some social media pages. They're all empty at the moment, but we're working on some stuff. I got a logo coming. I got all that sort of stuff coming. I got promo work coming. It's going to be a podcast based on guests. So as many and as high profile guests as we can get, there's going to be on there. I got some pretty good contacts down here into some American guys that either played NBL in Australia. So, Leonard Copeland, D-Mac, Dave Simmons, etc. Corey Homicide, all that sort of stuff. And then plus I got some special guests. We don't want to just talk to guys that play basketball necessarily at a high level, but guys that are involved in creating and shaping basketball. So Jordan Lawley, Phil Handy, I'm in touch with him. Lakers assistant coach. So we want to talk life and basketball, man. It's bigger than just inside the lines, and that's what we want to talk about. So we're going to come live from the shop that I work at and manage, Basketball Jersey World, and bring you takes and stories from players, staffers, etc., from all around the world.
That's super lit. I told y'all, man, when you got a guy that's in the future, you get a lot of futuristic shit. You feel me?
I want my hoverboard.
On God, right? On God. But look, matter of fact, before we head up out of here, Knicks Anonymous team, I know y'all drop new episodes every Monday. Make sure everybody tune into that. It's on all platforms. Get in tune. But what y'all got going on, man? I know y'all cooking up something. What's up?
Website coming soon. The website is in the making. We're coming out with merchandise. The first thing we're coming out is pins. So we're as the first. Yes. I got a pin on my hat right here. So right here, this one. I got this pin. This pin's fire.
Nice.
I got
yeah. On the other side, it's a fact. So we do episodes drop every Monday, 7 a.m. early morning. You can follow us on Knicks Anonymous. We do a lot of Q&As once the season starts. We like to keep the show interactive. We like to talk Knicks with everybody. Knicks, I said Knicks. Fuck. Yo, Stevie, where can they find us? You already know what to do.
Find us on Instagram at Knicks Anonymous. Find us on Twitter at Anonymous Knicks. We're on Breaker, Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts, and a few other platforms. I don't remember off the top of my head at the moment.
Pandora and iHart Radio.
Yeah, there you go.
My boys,
you almost had
when y'all
Stevie.
do it, send me the link, so I can listen. Because sometimes I'll be at work early in the morning.
Oh, facts.
It's
no doubt.
Lit. Do y'all hear it? Everybody working. Everybody doing what they got to do. As of me, don't worry about it. Y'all know what's up. Y'all know how I do. I'm mysterious. I might cook up something new. I might have a new show pop up. I might have a new host pull up. You feel me? But just know this, the main focus for myself this year, of course, I'm going to still do my Nick and 30 thing, how I always do. Every Friday, dropping a new episode. So for that, all platforms, man. But us is doing here, getting this BSN basketball station popping. You feel me? Make sure y'all go to that YouTube page, tap in. You're going to see shows from me, segments from me. You're going to see segments from them. You're going to see segments from Ariel. You're going to see segments from Smitty. We all over. It's not just going to be about the Knicks. It's about basketball in general. We talking about everything. Because why? Us five right here, we the new faces of the media. Y'all ain't know? We are media. We are entertainment. Get in tune.
We are the people's voice. We are the people's voice.
Get in tune, man. VSN, we here. VSN Basketball Station. Make sure y'all lock in. All the Twitters is here. Make sure y'all follow us. Stay in tune. This was a good episode. We see y'all next week for episode 3, y'all. Holla at y'all, gangly.